Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another review from Roy's Reviews. And today we are looking at an RDTA. Today, yes, we're looking at this little bad boy up here, which is the Ambitions mod, designed by the Vaping Gentleman Club, and as I say, made by Ambitions mod, got the long way around. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down to the table, unbox it, put a build into it. Hopefully don't make too much of a mess of it, and then come back up here again and I will tell you my thoughts on it. So, see you in a mo.
Okay, so here we are down at the table with the Ambitions mods designed by the Vaping Gentleman Club. Ripley, MTL, RDL, RDTA, so moist to lung and restricted direct lung RDTA. And nice little hands on the front. On this side we've got Ambition mods, this side's nothing, this side the Vaping Gentleman Club. And on this side you've got the package contents, which is the Ripley screwdriver, glass tank, user manual, spares kit, and the RDL drip tip, and your barcode and Ambition mods. And on the back then you've got the Ripley with all Ambition mods and the Vaping Gentleman Club's logos or social media and the address on there. So open it up. Here we have the user manual, and in the user manual it gives you the dimensions, which is a 22mm base, 52mm high, and it weighs 45 grams. And there is a breakdown of all the bits you can take apart on this. It's got quite a lot of small parts, I will say that. And then it shows you the different sizes of the airflow inserts, which we'll get to. And on this diagram it's showing you the airflow that comes in from the sides, hit the coils and straight up to you, like the Bishop. And then this one is basically showing you how to use the deck. So you have two different ways to use it, which we will come to in a moment. So here is the RDTA, your spare glass, and then this is your restricted direct lung drip tip as opposed to your mouth to lung drip tip. And as you can see, the bore is slightly bigger on the restricted direct lung. Okay, just take this bit out. Underneath here you get your T-piece screwdriver. You get these little tubes, and there's the name of them there. Xylena or Xylena probably. Tubes, going to need those. You also get these little bits of mesh which can be rolled up, and instead of using the tubes, which we'll show, you can actually use the mesh instead. You get a little baggie of spare O-rings and grub screws, and then you get quite a range of airflow options. So you've got the blank, so if you just want one side airflow coming in, you can blank it off. You have got 1.8mm, 1mm, and 1.6. You also get the 0.8, which is pre-installed in the tank already. Okay, so we don't need the airflows because I actually quite like the airflow the way it is, but I'll show you how to use those in a second. Okay, so here we have the tank itself. It is aesthetically very pleasing. I actually do really like the look of this tank. It's like a revolver barrel at the top. These bits here don't really do much, they're just for aesthetic purposes. Your drip tip at the top. It is a push fit drip tip with it's grooved on there and no O-rings in the inside, so the O-rings are on the drip tip, but it is a very tight fit in there and it actually feels lovely. The finish on it is absolutely perfect. Then you come down to your tank down here, which holds your liquid. It is looking, I have been using it so it's not perfectly dried off. Down to the bottom you have got your serial number, Ripley, and your warning marks on there. And the serial number is 589, I think. 589, yeah. Okay, and the 510 does protrude ever so slightly, so if you're wishing to use it on a tube. So we'll start off with the top cap. So in here you have got your airflow pins, which come in there, and they hit the coil, which is going to sit across there. Now if you were wishing to replace these with one of the different sizes, you just push it from the inside and it pops out just like so, and leaves a big hole. And then just to replace it, put it in and just push it flush back in again. As you can see, your coil is sitting here, which means it is very, very close to your mouthpiece. So you would imagine that flavour is going to be very good. There's a slight little bit of dumbing in there, not very much is needed because you are so close to the deck, just like the Bishop is. And as you can see, these holes don't lead to anywhere. There is just a little hole just there, and that is for this pin just here. So this little pin pulls out just like that. Be very careful you don't lose it, and that then becomes your fill port to actually fill up the tank below, and then you put the stopper back on like that to seal it. Okay, so the deck itself, anybody who's got a Bishop will recognize the deck. It's very, very Bishop-esque. In fact, it's just the same as the Bishop without the little fill port. You've got the grooves across here for your coil to sit across there like that, with a post here and a post here for your wraps to go through. Now, if I just zoom in a bit, you will see that there is little lips, collars here for the coil just to go round on either side. So just, if it's on camera, it helps. So the coil goes in round and you've got the little lips there to hold it. And what I will be using on this is a 1 Clapton 28 by 38 NI80 1 ohm coil from Nature Vape. Get the big boy out. So this is going to be going across like so. No, Roy. It helps if you have it the right way around, and upside down like that. And then it's just a matter of wrapping the leg round the screw, and the other leg round this screw. Tighten it down. Just make sure your coil's in the center, and then you just need to snip off the legs. So, and coil in the center. Just need to bed the coil in. Shouldn't take too long with these Nature Vape coils. There we go. .98. Close enough to 1 ohm for me. Okay, so while we're waiting on that cooling down, what we need to do is take out the Zyna posts. from a little baggie, and it does tell you on there what to do, and you need to fill them up before you actually use it. Now when you look at these little pins, there is a side that has got a cut off and a side that is flush. Now by putting it in with the cut side downwards, that allows enough space then on the deck for the juice to flow up through these and onto your wicks. Now as you can see, the cotton is going to sit across here, and you've got these two holes, one here and one here, and that's where the pins go. Or if you're wishing to use the mesh, you just roll it up tight so that it looks like, pick one of these, we'll get a piece out, and they actually send it pre-cut, one piece pre-cut and one bit longer. So you get two pieces this size and two pieces this size, and you probably can make two of these, but also it just means how tight you actually want to have it when you roll it up. And you probably could start off by rolling it in one of the pins like so, just to get you started and to keep it cylindrical. Then you can take the pin out, so you've got this, it started, and roll that up. Now height wise, the mesh is slightly longer than the pin, but it needs to be. The mesh needs to come up 1 millimeter above the deck, or from the hole on the deck, just here, so that it then goes on, catches onto your cotton, which is going across there. So to install the pins, it is just a matter of taking it, making sure you get that slot downwards and drop it in. Again, slot downwards and drop it in. Just make sure it is full seated the whole way in, just like that, and then you can see the tubes through the glass. Now it does recommend that you fill these up before you actually wick, so that the capillary action does make sense, or does kick in. I just need to find a juice to put into this. Okay, I'm going to use some Moorish Salts Lollies Bubblegum. Just get these, just drop down into the posts. And take out this little stopper and fill up the tank. That way, when it's filled up, when you put the juice down into the posts, it's not going to just sort of seep down into the deck. And then don't forget to put your little stopper back in again, like so. And then we're going to use some fuzz cotton. It's always a fun bit, trying to get the right amount of cotton to go through. Let's try this and see. Give it a wee twist. Get it started. Feed it through. so then when it's through, you just need to trim off the edges. What I do to start with is just take it to the edge of the deck, not the edge of the tank, just the edge of the deck, give it a trim, and the same on the other side. And then you need to make sure it's well fluffed out, and so just thin out the cotton just a wee bit. And then you want to trim it to the edges of getting emails. Sorry about that. And on the other side. So the wicks don't need to go down into the holes as long as they are on top of the holes, because the capillary action as you vape draws the juice up through and keeps the wicks going. Now if I can find my bottle of juice, just need to make sure you soak up or get the wicks soaked. And make sure that the cotton is all inside the channel. And once you do that, you just need to look for your wee hole, because that is where your fill nozzle goes into, and then you've got your little air hole here which is going to the coil, so you just make sure it's in the center, put it on, and there you have it on the GAT. Turn that off. Okay, so I'm just going to be popping this onto the Ambition Mods converter. So I think at side by side mode, I think it looks rather splendid on there. Okay, just grade it a bit, and there you have it. So join me up top when I'll take it for a vape and tell you my thoughts.
Okay, welcome back up again. That was a good look round the Ripley. And what do I think of it? One, you just need to be careful where you place your coils. This time I've gone for a slightly lower position in the coil, and you do get a slight little whistle if you pull hard enough on it. You might be able to pick this up on the mic. Only ever so slightly. A few of you might be also be thinking, I've seen that deck before. Yes, it's also the same deck that's on the Bishop. Very similar to the Bishop, apart from you've got the holes for where the little pillars or the mesh goes into, and as you can see, I've got them on the little tubes at the moment. So a couple of little things just to remember about the tubes. You do have a little cutout at one end of them. Make sure that goes down to the bottom. That just allows your juice to go up into it and then to go up onto the deck itself. Also to remember to put juice into it just before you put your wicks across and everything else, just into the little tubes. Otherwise it's really hard and you'll get dry hits because you're not getting the capillary action of the juice coming up and onto the wicks. And as you can see, I've got it paired on the Ambition Mods converter. Absolutely just looks fantastic. Although I probably could do with a nicer drip tip. It's not the most sleek drip tip they've ever sort of come out with. So you probably have your own 510 connection drip tip to go on there. And I absolutely adore this little device on the mouth to lung setup. beautiful flavour. As you've seen, it's a single Nature Vape 1 ohm coil that's in there, and the flavour I'm getting of juices that I have vaped many times before is absolutely fantastic. Do I have any downfalls? Possibly they could have maybe put a little mark on the top cap so that you know which way around it's going, because you have to sort of look and sort of see the tiny little indent there is onto it and then put it on top. That's only a niggle. That's not a downfall. It's not really a con as such. I don't really have any cons to go with this. It is an absolutely fantastic little mouth-along device. Also, if you like restricted direct lung, get it right, Roy, then this does it as well. Over the week or so that I've had it, nearly 2 weeks, I've had different sort of builds into it. I've tried the mesh onto it. The mesh mouth to lung works, but not as good as the tubes. The mesh is definitely more designed for the restricted direct lung, because it does tend to get the juice up there a little bit quicker. To the wicks, forget my words. All in all, I really do like it. The design on it, so the looks like a little shotgun revolver barrel on there. The looks of it look fantastic. You can get different top caps for it. Now this top cap that comes on this now is metal, but you can get further different designs if you wish from naturevape.co.uk. Have them on stock. There's 2 different colours I think at the moment. The sort of the pishy yellow colour and also a greyish colour, if my memory serves me right. If you really wanted to, the little rings up here on top, you could put O-rings around them to make them beauty rings, if you wanted to, if you really wanted to decorate your tank. But I actually like it in the plain and simple mode. I like it on the converter here. I just love the vape on it. Apart from that little whistle, if you set your coil down too low, well, it's not even a whistle, more of a murmur. It is smooth. It is a really smooth vape, as you've got the little pins to remove out and put back in again. Now, people could say that is a plus and a con. A plus is you're always going to get the same airflow every single vape, and if you've got it, you're not, your hands aren't moving it, or if it goes into your pocket, you're not moving the airflow around, so it's not going to end up moving on it. So once you have sort of used the different pins, find your preferred airflow, it's always just going to be that way. It's just going to be the same. So every time you pick it up, you're getting the same consistent vape every single time. So that's the plus and the con-ish of that on there. Marks out of 10. It's a simple 10 out of 10. There's just no 2 ways out about it. As a mouth to lung tank, it is a 10 out of 10. This was sent to me for the purposes of review, by the way. That doesn't sway me in a which way, by Ambition Mods and through naturevape.co.uk. So if you do wish to purchase one, you can jump over to Nature Vape and take a look at the website, and they do have them for sale on there. It just remains me to say thank you for watching this review, and if you have enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, drop me a wee comment down below. If you haven't enjoyed it and you're giving me a thumbs down, well, still drop me a wee comment down below. And if you're already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate every single subscription. If you're not already subscribed, hit the wee subscribe button and also hit the wee bell notification so you get notified when I next upload a review. And it just remains me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you've been watching this review. Take care now. Bye.
1, 2, 3, 4.